night you hear three tones ring out. They have a special meaning, so here's what it's all about. I love you.
Hi boys and girls, it's me. And welcome to Vintage Radiowild. We finally have gone and done it. After 6 years and over 140 videos and over 300, I forgot how many subscribers I got now. 360, 370 subscribers. Finally putting this together. I wanted to do it back in the fall, but there were other things going on. I just couldn't get to it. So now 6 years. This is now 6 years I've been putting YouTube videos up. So I just wanted to share this with you. I'm going to do this in two parts, not to waste a lot of your time. So we're going to have a part where you can kind of get a little bit, and then you can go on and feed Fido and take care of the kids and go shopping, food shopping, or whatever it is you're going to do. And then you can come back, and then when you have some more time, you can watch part two. And then later on, what we're going to do is we're going to have things that go back in my life. I got videotape that go back to the 90s, and that includes a trip that I made to Japan in 1991 for my job. So, hey, rather than waste any more time, let's get started. Grab yourself a hot dog from this fine chap right here. Get yourself a little beverage, maybe from this chap here. Kick back in your easy chair and relax and watch. And hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend.
It was all an accident, really. The reason why I started a YouTube channel to begin with was as a collector of antique radios. And this could be for anything. I mean, you can collect stamps, coins, G.I. Joes, whatever it is that you collect. Sometimes you buy and sell pieces to kind of make your collection a little better. Like you have certain things in your collection that you really like, and then you have other things in your collection that you might want to sell and maybe get something that you really want to add to your collection. So I understand all that, and the antique radio hobby that I'm involved with, I'm kind of the same way. So I enjoy working on the radios as well. So basically what happened was I had a Hammarlund HQ150 that I electrically restored. I took it all apart and cleaned everything up and made it look real nice. It worked real well. And I had the radio for a couple of years, and I kind of got bored with it and wanted to sell it and get something else. So the fellow that I sold it to, basically he lived like an hour away. And if you guys, especially ham guys, know the Hammarlunds are not a lightweight radio, to say the least. So I made this video, and what I did was my very first video, and you can see me actually tuning around the dial. I was actually DXing it and trying to show the different features and how everything worked. And if you watch the video, you'll see that it was done a little bit differently because I used Windows Movie Maker, and from the second video on, I did everything with my MacBook Pro, which is iMovie. So I much prefer working with the iMovie than the Windows Movie Maker. Not to say that one's better than the other, but I just enjoy working with the Apple a little bit more. It has more options for me. So, and that's how I got started. It was just completely by accident. And then after that, I just decided to continue on with it, to have some kind of video history of things that have gone on in the past. So that's how it got started.
Next band. Let's see if there's anything happening on 160.
I really don't have a favorite video per se, because there are some videos that I really liked, and I really liked and enjoyed doing them. But I think one that was really, I guess the most special one of all my videos that I've ever done was I was able to get together with a small group of people from the New Jersey Antique Radio Club and go up to Alpine, New Jersey, and actually get like with Rockstar access too. It was just so cool. Got to see the Armstrong Tower, and it was just a whole lot of fun, and there was a whole lot of history there, and it was. If you look at the Armstrong Tower visit video that I did, you'll see what I'm all talking about. And I even had a little fun there because even Mrs. RW and I were standing outside the tower, and she was looking up the tower. She said, "I want to really climb that tower." And I'm thinking to myself, nah, I didn't bring bail money, honey. Let's just enjoy the moment for what it was. But it was just a lot of fun, and even just a little quick piece of history about it. When 9/11 happened, and basically not all but many of the New York radio and television stations were knocked out, the Armstrong Tower was used as a backup for many of the channels of television and some of the radio stations. So that was actually kind of cool to, that it was still there, and to be able to do that. So I'd have to say that's probably one of my most favorite videos that I've done was that, and that was just a real special privilege to have gone over there and seen that so close and get an up close shot of history there.
Climb that tower? I don't think so. I don't think you'd be allowed there.
I wouldn't go out on the side because then I'd fall off for sure. If you go in the middle and you stay up, it should be pretty safe and easy motions.
What's my favorite radio? Boy, it's kind of hard to say. I have a lot of radios that I like. I have some radios that are, to me, that are kind of fun and they're mediocre, but they're Art Deco, so it's another one of these things where I really don't have a favorite. But I remember my first, one of my first radios I ever played around with when I was a child growing up. Family would go to church in the morning, and then we'd stop at a bakery on the way home from church, and my mother would get all the cool little bakery items, and like some bread and some bagels and maybe some kind of a pastry or cake or whatever. We'd bring that home, have breakfast, and then later on in the day, or like in the early afternoon, we'd go over to my grandmother's house, and my mom and dad would hook up with my aunt, my uncle, and other relatives, and they would sit around and play games. Usually the game was Pinochle. If they, some real old school folks remember the game Pinochle, they would play Pinochle. And sometimes they played double deck Pinochle. I'm not even going to get into that. I remember how to play, but nobody plays it anymore. So actually it'd probably be a cool app if there was an app developer that wanted to make that. I think that'd be a cool app. But while we were over there, and I was just a little squirt, I was just a little kid, I had a couple of my uncles had served in the Navy, and my late Uncle Frank was he had come back from doing his tour and brought back a H500 Zenith Transoceanic, and I would sit there and play with that thing for hours. And when I was a little kid, that was what I did. I just played around with that thing and I DX with it, and you folks that have radios, it's an okay radio. It was a really good radio for its time. And that radio was kind of special to me, so I've always had one. This is my personal one. I've just had this thing for, I don't know, probably about 20 years now. This isn't the same one. I don't know whatever happened to my uncle's one, but I got a hold of this one. It isn't perfect, but it's above average. It's nice. It's It's got your fair share of shortwave bands on there and everything, and it's got a good 1L6 as well. So I don't play this that often, but I bring it out every once in a while, and I even have a battery pack that I've made for it. So it's definitely special in that respect. So I just that's just kind of burned into my mental hard drive. So this is definitely one of my favorite radios, probably because it was just the first one I spent a lot of time with.
On the NBC each night you hear three tones ring out. They have a special meaning, so here's what it's all about. I love